Well, here we are. Here, I'm just an earthling, of course. We all know that. We all know me. But this guy here, this gentleman with the headphones on and such, Dr. Polis, I think he calls himself, or Mr. Polis, something Polis. He acts like he wants people to call him doctor, I think. You know what I mean? Anyway, it would be Doctor of Divinity, which we all know is definitely not accredited, but and nonetheless can be faked out as a so-called degree. So that's only because half the world's delusional right now, or half. I mean, our country anyway. Half the country, more than half the country, is delusional. They all have this hero worship thing going on, where they all believe in magic, and that's my point here. Here you're sitting here, like most of you goofy theists, creationists like to do. You argue against science. You talk about science like it's some other religion, like we're trying to tell you how to live, like we're trying to tell you a certain philosophy to have, like we're trying to tell you that your demons are just that, demons. They're myths. They're figments of your imagination. Well, actually, we can tell you that because it has something to do with mental health. You know, yes, theism, hero worship, deity worship, they're all mental health issues, especially the deity thing. I mean, you know, you sit there on your little computer, which was developed and manufactured and everything by science, by the way, mathematics, with your little headphones on and your microphone, oh, which, by the way, was developed and discovered and built and engineered and brought by science, by mathematics. And then when you're sitting there in your little keyboard with your computer, you're doing all that. You're talking to this camera, oh, which by the way was developed through mathematics, science, engineering, mechanics, optics. You don't get it, do you? You really don't. You really that's so deep set into your delusion, your mythology, your freaking God that you really think has magic power. You're so far into it, you don't realize that you're utilizing science every minute of every day. That you do believe in science, you little sneak, and you use it all the time. You're stupid. That's all there is to it. When people like you talk about how evolution has gaps. Uh, it's called the theory for a reason. Uh, Science doesn't know everything. When are they going to tell you how to live your life? How are they going to tell you how to be moral? All those questions you ask like that, those straw man, circular logic questions, and you make up these arguments about your whether it's subjective or a subject or whatever your argument was. I don't know. You're having fun with this guy that said irrational theism. Well, theism is irrational. Its whole point is irrationality because it's based on faith, which is the belief that there's something there that isn't. That's what you think. Actually, faith is the belief in something you feel will be there. And hate to tell you this, but the word belief and faith, you guys don't have a monopoly on those. You can't hijack them. For instance, I believe I put this hat on that's going to cover my head. Hey, I was right. I had faith. Uh, there we go again. I had faith, and it turned out to be true. Isn't that amazing? What do you think? I know. That's Polis. Yeah, that's his name. But no, I don't really think he's a doctor. No, I think he's just another one of those comforts. One of those comfort guys. What's his name? Something comfort. Uh, Kirk Cameron. One of the Baldwin boys. He's going freaky over there, over here, and yeah, that's what you remind us of. And all your little arguments. I swear that when we hear you argue like this, when we hear you guys make up all these, you're trying to make it it's sound. You're trying to make it sound philosophical or deep or scientific, and yet you profess to say that you don't believe in science and science. You know, argue against it. All we hear is, no, since I'm too stupid to understand science, really, and I don't have to think too much, well, it must be magic. My superhero must have done it that my dad told me about. Something. I mean, where would you get the idea that you have some creature out there who's actually watching you? And that would bug the fuck out of me. I'd be so freaking paranoid if I thought that way. I don't get it, you guys. Come on. And you still act like jerks. You still threaten people. You still talk shit. You still judge. In fact, you still commit every single one of the 7 deadly sins, and you don't even care. You say atheists don't have morals because they don't know God. Well, we look at it as you don't have any morals because you don't know right from wrong, because you need a deity, which is, a delusion, to tell you how to do that. So you yourself have none. You don't know right from wrong. We, however, understand that it's common sense, that it's wrong to kill, hurt people, steal from them, etc., etc. Common sense. That's why we make laws in a secular country. I got to tell you, you Christians have gotten to be the funniest people. Now you want to vote one, you want to elect one for president. One of them wears magic pajamas. Yeah, and he loves it. He says, well, they're saintly garb and they make my skin feel good because I know I'm protected from evil. He actually believes, I mean, the morons, they actually believe that this Joseph Smith ran into these stones after being told about them by an angel named Moroni, who told him that the Indians were actually the Nihilites, or whatever you guys call them, the lost tribe of Israel. Yet there aren't any in your religion, are there? Or in your blacks? Well, you got your tokens. I know. No, you're not a Mormon. I'm just talking about, religion and theism. It's a form of Christianity, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it's a cult. But so is mainstream Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, all of them. They're cults. Anything that believes in some kind of a super being, a deity, and worships that being, and creates an organization around that worship, the organization is called a cult. Look in the dictionary. So I do go on, but I mean, the way you guys are, the way you're going on with your, well, then there's a subjective realization of rationality and your consternating. You sound like the drunk guy in Living Color. Keenan Wayans. Yeah, I have a little consternation in my inebriation. For, what I mean. That's what you sound like. It's pretty funny. You believe in magic. Yeah, you think everything happened you argue against science, and you think that we believe that the Big Bang is this zap and everything's appeared. I don't know what I don't know what y'all feel, believe, but we understand the millions of years, the tedious process it takes for evolution and change and growth to happen in nature. We understand that. Science is patient that way. We can talk in eons and ages and millions and hundreds of millions of years without blinking an eye. And to have this thought that you're so special that I mean, you jailed people. The Christians fucking jailed people for saying the earth went around the sun for hundreds of years. So just Get off your high horse. Shut up. You sound like a fool. You know, here you are arguing against science like crazy, like it's some kind of other Satan's tool, whilst using it constantly. Go figure. And then you believe in magic. Wow.